you have a lot of countries around the world that are actively buying. If you go to, the UAE, if you go to a lot of countries, they are actively putting that in their treasuries. And you look at the Fortune 500 companies, they are actively hoarding Bitcoin. The biggest families, the biggest companies, countries, sovereign wealth funds, and individuals are all hoarding Bitcoin, right? It's why it's been as explosive as it is.
I do believe we're just at the beginning of the tokenization of all assets, from real estate to equities, to bonds, across the board. There's $4.1 trillion of money sitting globally in digital wallets. A lot of that money is outside the United States. If we could tokenize a ETF, digitize that ETF, we could have investors who are just beginning to, invest in markets through, let's say, crypto. They're investing in it, but now we could get them into the more traditional long-term retirement products. So we look at that as the next wave of opportunity for BlackRock over the next tens of years, as we start moving away from traditional financial assets by repotting them in a digital manner, and then having people stay in that digital ecosystem.
Y'all know every time a few days before the FOMC meeting, we see this volatility in the cryptocurrency market. My name is Crypto Million. Every day I talk about crypto. Let's talk about what I'm seeing inside the market. Today is 2 for Tuesday, double up day, the second day of the first half of the working week. And the market is actually looking strong. We got H bar here up after the ETF did get approved. So I said this yesterday, we are going to see a lot more of our altcoins, specifically in the top 100, get ETF. And what these are vehicles, financial vehicles that allow everyday normal people, whether they're retired, whether they don't have an experience in crypto or using centralized exchanges, to have a runway to have exposure to cryptocurrency. And the only thing that this is going to do is going to cause more adoption and also kind of make crypto a little less volatile, similar to what we see from the stock market. So, there's mixed signals. Some people like the institutions here. Some people don't like the institutions here. We got my biggest holding, BitTensor, literally thriving. I've been towel pilling y'all for like the last 6 to 8 months, right? Before the subnets blew up, before a lot of these subnets ran up, and before BitTensor was above $400. I mean, we were talking about this thing at the lowest was like 175, and then it had a huge wick to I think like 140 maybe last week. So I mean, it's just imagine, right? Tau wick to 140 and it's back at $450, and that should give you an idea of what's happening within the AI narrative. I've seen a few influencers kind of trying to shit on the AI narrative, and it's like, this is probably the easiest asymmetric bet out of any narrative in crypto. This is the Kabasi letter, great account on Twitter. It says AI growth is exploding. The US now has 5,426 data centers, more than all major countries combined. And if you've been doing research into the artificial intelligence narrative, then you know how massive not only data is, but compute power, which is basically the electricity that runs AI, right? And this is a stat that's telling you. It says there are 40 billion worth of US data centers under construction, up 400% in 2022. So there, for anybody that's in construction, right? Maybe you start looking at deals from these major companies and entities and states, wherever you're at, that's starting to build these data centers because it seems like it's a lot of money there. This will reshape the global economy. Another thing that's really been sought after is compute power, right? And BitTensor is the #1 ecosystem for serverless compute power. Nobody can compete, guys. Compute power is I can't stress this enough to y'all, right? If you truly believe that artificial intelligence is the future, compute power is literally the blood flow for AI, right? The electricity that powers it, right? I mean, literally, you gotta go fuel up your Tesla. You gotta go fuel up your AI with compute power, and it's scarce right now. This is another reason why I've been stressing to you guys that BitTensor is going to absolutely explode. It's the #1 decentralized ecosystem platform marketplace that allows anybody to have access to serverless compute power. That use case alone sets this apart from any other artificial intelligence cryptocurrency in this space. And then when you add the aspect of the Bitcoin, tokenomics, and just the community itself, we just see the community rally after one of our community members got hacked, right? Community rallied, and I think he came up with like over 800,000 in donations, community led. This just really tells you the type of ecosystem. I'm also seeing a lot of big influencers start to scream tile, start to mine tile through Bitcast. Like, I've been here. So you can miss out on artificial intelligence. It doesn't have to necessarily be tile or BitTensor subnets. Maybe you go look at things that's happening on Solana. There was a project that dropped yesterday on Solana called Fund that allows you to build an e-commerce store. Very, very simple, right? You can literally build you an e-commerce store, one click of a button, and you got a whole marketplace to bid your merch. And every item has it's kind of like Pump Fun, right? It has you can actually trade the items within your e-commerce store, guys. Where we are headed in crypto is fucking insane right now. This platform is crazy. I know a lot of people are just going over your head, but if you ever did e-commerce, you know what I'm talking about. The fact that they've tokenized e-commerce, right, to the detail aspect that every merch inside your store is individually tokenized. No banks, no fees, no wait, instantly. One click of the button, you got a whole store you can launch. So you're going to see a lot of these companies transitioning into crypto. Larry Fink was talking about it, tokenizing everything, right? Why go into a bank and you got to worry about credit score, this and this, where you can just raise the money through a pre-sale or ICO. Like, I know this sounds crazy, and many people, they're so 2017, 2018 that they look at all of this shit as scam. It's not a scam. It's literally, we are being ushered into an area where tokenization will be normalized. It's happening. Real estate will be tokenized. Your car title will be tokenized. Everything will be tokenized. Everything will have a digital imprint of it. And if you listen to my videos, I'm more bullish on the infrastructure in the future. I'm not paying attention to per se short-term price action. Whether we're cooked, whether we're not, I'm identifying the future, guys. Now, we still got some work to do, right? If we go here and look at the total cryptocurrency market cap, you can see that we are under the orange line, right? I'm not moved. I'm not moved from crypto until this gets back above the orange line. I don't care who's bull posting. I don't care what the price says. As long as we are under that orange line, we are at risk. Okay? Same goes for Bitcoin. We are at risk. And when you understand that, you don't make any crazy moves. You let the market, come to you. So again, I've said this and I'm saying it again. As long as we're under this orange line on the ultimate RSI, we're at risk. It's good to see some movement from crypto, good to see some green. But again, this volatility happens all the time before a few days before the FOMC meeting. So trading and betting on this and that, you're taking a risk. Leverage before FOMC meeting, you legendary. You're taking a huge risk, right? But we know volatility, happens before the FOMC meeting. And of course, guys, it looked like we're going to get that green close in October if Bitcoin continue to be strong, pending we get a dovish J-Pow. J-Pow doesn't have to be all the way dovish, but if you can be a little bit of dovish, that'll help. We know the economy is not good, right? We know the economy is struggling, right? We know retail normies are breaking even, right? But we are hopeful. We are still hopeful that this Q4 can be bullish. I don't think that it's time to throw in the towel, it's over with, guys. I literally showed y'all on the stream, the last stream before I think I made that for members only. But if we just go back here, I literally showed you guys what happened last time in 2024, right? In 2024, right here in September, you can see here we had what am I looking at? The Bitcoin chart. October. If I go to the daily, you can see here that the October started off bearish. You can see how September ended up bearish. October started off extremely bearish the first week. The second week it kind of bounced back, and then the last week it was a bearish again, and everybody thought it was over with because we didn't have a bullish October. And then November in the Q4 was crazy, right? You can see here this is November, December. I'm going into January. Insane moves. And again, this move here was led by autonomous agents, AI agents. Right? It was the whole AI agent craze again. And then everybody anticipating Donald Trump was becoming president, right? So we had a huge run up, the first pro crypto president. So now we're hearing again in October, the end of October, and we're starting to see everything turn green again, even Trump token. It's funny how things come full circle, right? We talked about it comes a full circle. So remember I was just showing you guys Bitcoin, and I was showing you guys the total cryptocurrency market cap. But you can see here with Tau, as long you see this is the ultimate RSI weekly chart. We're above the orange line. Look at the momentum. Guys, the indicator doesn't lie. You're following one of the most undervalued channels in this space right now. I'm not going to get you boosted in your head. I'm not going to make you feel like the market is over. I'm going to give you exactly what I'm looking at. Exactly. We do got some things happening this week as if you want to pause it and, check out some of the things. The earnings, I think, is going to be huge. But I think the main thing is the FOMC meeting. Truth Social launching prediction markets powered by crypto.com. Crow is also a very, very bullish token in my portfolio. I want to talk about that. And I'll talk about a few others before I cut this out. But I really, really like Crow. I've been playing around with crypto.com's sports betting, right? So it's very simple, right? It's kind of like you buy shares of a team, and you bet on the team, right? If you bet on the underdog, you can win more money than betting on the favorite, right? Sometimes it's 50-50, but it's seamless, right? You can use anything in your cryptocurrency portfolio to bet on sports instantly, just like that. And the same can be said for the store I was telling you guys, right? If you just go here to the let's see if I can actually find it. If I don't have it, I wanted to check out some stores, but guys, you can pay with either stable coins or Solana, right? So it's very simple and seamless. Everything is becoming simple and seamless. I see it happening literally in real time, and I know retail ain't paying attention to this shit. They gonna be last. We are locked the fuck in right now. Okay, ignore short-term price action. Crypto.com has emerged a go-to provider of the prediction market services with our federally regulated technology stack. I love it. I've been betting on all the NBA games simply from my Crypto.com bank, because Crypto.com the app is no longer just an application, just a crypto exchange. Crypto.com is a bank. It's a bank, chat. It's a bank. You don't really need a bank when you got crypto.com. That's how far along we've came with Crow. And I think Crow will continue to be massive. It's been on a nice run. We want to see it get back above that orange line on the ultimate RSI. Right now, technically, it is bearish according to my indicator. But they always are working on something. And I got my Crow locked because I got a card that I use. So again, I'm not worrying about it. It's a long-term hold for me. H bar is up 17.9% today after spot ETF was listed for trading. We're going to get so much more ETFs, guys. And again, we want to pay attention to J Powell's demeanor. If he gives any hint that QT is coming to an end, we'll know more information yesterday. This is also an emerging narrative within cryptocurrency, which is the X402 ecosystem market. map. Now, I'm not going to go into too much into X402 because I'm not trying to get you guys hyped up of a narrative that's just making it the crypto Twitter, because that means we are late, right? I'm a little bit late to this narrative, right? But I'm bringing it to your attention so you can start your research now and start to have an understanding what the X402 ecosystem does and how it benefits projects, cryptocurrencies, and the integration between payment rails of crypto and traditional finance. So I'm gonna leave that to you guys for homework. Make sure you go do your homework. And again, we talked about AI data centers. Speaking of AI, we'll keep an eye on stuff like Jasmy, because we're getting all this data news, and everybody seems to be ignoring data. Jasmy is really struggling right now, guys. It's so far away from our moving averages. I'm gonna have to do a video specifically on Jasmy because, hey, yeah, I'm gonna do a video. And then my other big holding here, of course, is ZBCN, which is a lot more healthier, but still technically bearish. You can see here we're in a downtrend. We are below the ultimate RSI, and as long as we're below this, we are at risk for bearish momentum and the downtrend to continue. And specifically here, staring here at this 50-day moving averages, which is 202. So would love to see ZBCN have a little bit more strength, but so much people made money down here. Still kind of like profit taking going on, and we just need to get that momentum indicator back above the orange line. So technically right now, short-term price action could be bearish for ZBCN, but that's a lot of tokens, right? Bitcoin is below the ultimate RSI line here, in the total cryptocurrency market cap is also. Now, the reason why you still see some altcoins popping off, because you can see the total 3 still has its momentum. And the reason I didn't really bring up any of low cap shitters or stuff like $10 million market cap, because if we go to the others market, you can see the others is below our momentum indicator. So right now you could be buying, right? Every time we bought here at the trend line for low caps was a good time to buy, right? But remember, when the total cryptocurrency market cap in Bitcoin is also under that indicator, that means that the entire space is lacking momentum, volume, and liquidity. What we're waiting for is that gold rotation into Bitcoin, right? The currency debasement trade, and Fed printing. Let's just keep it real. So with that being said, others, I would be a little bit careful with micro caps, low caps right now. If you just throwing a little something, or you're gambling, or you're in the casino like the trenches, that's fine. But understand there is low volume right now, lack of retail normie money, and also lack of sustainable momentum, which means we are below the ultimate RSI line with the others chart weekly. So we are at risk. Great buying opportunity. You can see these wick candles. We've been wicking off this trend line, but understand there is weakness in the market. I want everybody who's still here that watches this video to have an understanding that there still is weakness in the market. A lot of crypto YouTubers ain't gonna tell you this, right? I'm telling you it. I'm pointing out why there's weakness in the market and what needs to happen for us to overcome that weakness. Anyway, let me know what you think about the market, some of the things that's being built in the ICM meta, guys. Internet capital markets. I'm excited where cryptocurrency is going with all these little platforms that I can just play around with, and and even AI, right? Still having fun with AI. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about crypto. Salute to Tau community, Tau fam. We are pumping, guys. H-bar pumping, Crow looking good. We'll get Pump looking good, and we'll work as a community, get Jasmy and ZBCN back on track. Anyway, it's your boy Crypto Millie. I'll see you in the next one.